welcome to another segment of Women of Wisdom. We're here today at the beautiful city of Tallahassee, Cascade Park. Myself and my co-host, Willette Wilkerson.
Hello. Today we are talking to you about the foundation of marriage. And what is your foundation? So Rhoda, we are hoping to let everyone know that every marriage has to have a solid foundation.
Most definitely.
And what would you say that foundation has to be?
Well, you know, when we said I do, we were not through. We went into a covenant relationship with God and our spouse. So whatever takes place in our house should always include the three. I don't know about you, but I have experienced the attitude of I got this, I can handle this,
I can do this by myself.
I can do this thing by myself. I don't need no help because I'm going to say what I want to say to you. I don't care how you take it, how you feel about it. But I had to learn that not too many days were promised to me in my marriage handling it like that without God. And so my husband and I had to revisit things and look at things totally different and realize that God was a very integral part of our marriage. And in order for us to be successful, he had to be
at the forefront. You know, I'm thinking that it has to be difficult for people to try and have a marriage without having God in it. Because for Tony and I, you know, that was our beginning. I mean, we both grew up in the church, so that was one another. So starting our marriage and having God in it, it was like a no-brainer. But I've also seen the danger you just speaking of, the danger of not including God. So you have God and still not including God. Right. The danger of not including God in everything about
But one thing about God, he is about order. He's going to try to govern you and direct you in a manner that you are going to consider. I just believe I'm at a point now in my life that I don't want to say anything to my husband that I have to take back.
Right.
I just believe in that. So I'm going to be very cautious as to what I say to him, how I say to him. I don't want to hurt him. I love him too much to put that kind of hurt.
Words with love. And you're not seasoning your words with care and compassion. A person will easily want to turn you off. You know what I mean? So if you can't get that, God only gives you that. You can't just get that. Wake up one morning and just have all this compassion and love in your heart.
And don't be a nagger. Oh my God.
Don't let the men roll on that one.
Oh, don't be a nagger. That'll make your spouse not even want to come home.
Exactly.
If you are a nagger, where you been? How long you gonna be? What you? Oh, Jesus.
And there go the rain.
Oh, Jesus.
A new location, but we're on the same topic. Please stay with us because we were just talking about nagging. You don't want to miss what we're talking about, this nagging thing. So what were you saying about nagging, Rhoda?
You know what? The devil is a liar. I gotta say that. Now he really didn't want me to say
what you had to
what
say.
I had to say, and he probably figured if he would cause enough time lapse that I would forget it. But you know, here's the thing about nagging. I used to be a nagger, and one thing I remember is that my husband's time for coming home got later and later because I was nagging him.
Yeah.
It got on his nerves, you know. When you coming home? Why you got to do that? Well, why you got to go by there? Well, why you got to know all of this?
Exactly.
You know, at some point you got to trust your husband, just like you expect them to trust you. You got to trust your husband to be able to move about freely And once you all get to that point in your marriage, there's not going to be a problem in him saying, hey, babe, I'm going to stop at the store, I'm going by my house, I'm going to go by the church, wherever. And you're going to be just fine with that.
Right. That takes growth.
Yeah, it takes growth.
It takes growth.
But a nagger
will run
can run a man slap out of the house.
You say, I ain't coming home tonight.
Yeah.
Don't be a nagger. Please don't be a nagger. Tame that tongue. And I'd still say the only way to do that is having God as your foundation, because it's going back to, you don't want to hurt the person you love. You don't want to run them away. You don't want them to say, God, I hate to come home. That woman always nagging me.
But you know something, Willie? I'm going to be honest with you. I found myself having to ask God around every corner, God, please help me. I don't want to do this. I see the look on his face. I know that I'm annoying him, but I need you to work in me.
Okay.
Create in me.
Yes. The spirit you need to have.
To understand, and I feel that I got to nag my husband around every corner, because you know what? It's annoying, because I don't like nobody to nag me.
Exactly.
Now, isn't that something? You a nagger, but you don't like to be nagged?
Exactly. You know, I always say whatever you want from the marriage, you need to be able to deliver that.
That's right.
So if you don't want to be nagged, don't be nagging your spouse. And I understand it's something you really do have to pray for, because some women just don't get it. They just don't get it. So pray about it. We want you to pray about it. Invite God in and say, God, this is something I need some help with. I nag my husband every time I see him. Please help my tongue. Please help my thoughts. And I believe it'll happen.
But that is the importance of God being a part of your marriage. You see, we cannot act like we're on this island all by ourselves, and then we only include God when we really find ourselves
what we say is
in dire needs. We need God in our marriage every day.
Right.
If it's 365 days this year, we need him. If it's 366 for leap year, we still need him. We need him every day in our marriage.
Because it's not just the big things. It is the little things like the nagging. It is the little things like, oh, he get on my nerve, he left that toilet seat up again.
That's right.
It's the little things. You need to be praying daily. So it's no way to govern your marriage without God. I mean, I just wouldn't try it. It's just dangerous.
Right.
So I'm just saying to our viewers, don't try to live your marriage out without God. Not only invite him in, but make him the solid foundation.
I just believe that God should be inclusive. Have I always believed that? I think I have.
You always believed it.
I've always believed it, but I have not always executed it.
Right.
I'll say that.
Right. And that's what I meant when I said earlier that you can have God but not invite him in. See, we can be believers but not walk it.
Yeah, we want to pick and choose what.
When the
Lord, the utility bill due and I ain't got no money.
Yeah.
Now we want God. But then, you know, when our spouse does something to us and we decide we want to give him a piece of our mind. Now, God, you stay right over there. I'm going to handle this.
Let me cuss him out.
Yeah, ooh, to the core.
Let me make him hurt.
But you know something? And I'm going to say this to my listening viewers today. I said something to my husband years ago. And he blew my mind when he brought it back 30-something years later. Even though for 30 years, I never said it again, but he didn't forget the thought that I had said it before. But one thing that brought me into that particular day was the look on his face. And the look on his face told me, Rhoda,
don't do that.
You won't get many more opportunities to do that or say that.
Exactly.
So if it's a way that you can stop allowing your tongue or whatever comes up to come out, baby, you better bring it in check. You better bring it in quick.
Yeah.
Now, I really
you'll find yourself single.
That's right. I really believe me bringing myself in check with God. I can now say I am 34 years down the road with the same man. Still in love. He's still my lover. He's still my friend. But I can promise you this, and I'll say this. that 32 years ago, if it was 32, it might have been 33 years ago, I said something and I saw the look on his face that told me you won't get many opportunities to say that to me.
Now that's interesting, Rhoda, because not only was it that many years ago, but here's the perfect example of why we need to season our words with love, because you didn't say that anymore, but he never forgot it.
Never.
He never forgot it. That's how hurtful the tongue can be. And we need, as not just women, but men too, we need to watch what we're saying to our spouses if we love them. Keep God first, and He will help you control the tongue. I promise you.
People think that just because
I didn't use profanity,
that I didn't belittle him.
Right.
But there are other words you can belittle a person's space.
What we want people to understand is that it's not just using profanity that belittles their husband or make them feel less of a man, or not even want them. Sometimes they don't even want to be there because your tongue is so rough.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's not just using profanity. It could be your tone. It could be your stance. You know, it could be your whole attitude when you deliver a message. You know, there's a lot of ways to belittle someone without using profanity.
Yeah. And that is, I don't know. I guess because I've been on this road before, I can really relate to it. And I thank God for helping us to overcome the issues that we had in our marriage at the time. But I don't think that it wasn't of our doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that. It wasn't of our doing. It was through the help of God that we have been able to get where we are, to get through the things that we have gotten through. And, you know, I was sharing with my husband a situation where how people look and feel that they got it all together, they know everything, and they don't know nothing. You know, they just assume no. And then the first sign of trouble, boom, it's gone. It blows up in their face. They don't even know how to put it back together because why? God wasn't in the mix from the start.
He was the foundation. And if you don't have a solid foundation, you already know what's going to happen to the house.
Listen here. As individuals, we cannot fight Satan alone.
Absolutely. That's right.
Well, we can't do it.
You don't have nothing to fight him with.
That's right. He's a mean mama jama.
And he ain't playing with you either,
okay.
Baby. He comes to tell
because
that house.
First of all, he does not want the marriage to be successful. Satan is happy with you shacking, living together, out there in the streets with more than one man, more than one woman. He doesn't care. He does not look at things in the manner that God does. So once you come together, this is what people need to understand. Yes, you are doing things in a godly manner by taking up a husband, taking up a wife, and getting married. But you better know, the devil is going to raise his head.
He is ready.
And
as soon as you say I do,
is not in your house, not the foundation,
it's crumbling.
He's going to cause your house to crumble.
It's coming down.
Hello, somebody, like the three little pigs.
Yeah, it's coming down.
He gonna huff and puff and blow your house down.
Yes, ma'am. And he ain't stopping until he see all of it laying flat on the ground.
Yes, sir.
So if you don't want your house to be like the little pig's house was, you better build that thing on a solid foundation. That's God. That's it.
You know what? Let's get our viewers to understand this. One thing we are not saying here today is that we're not telling you you're supposed to be a church.
Holy rollers.
Right.
No.
But one thing that goes without even being said, if God is the foundation of your marriage, you in somebody's church somewhere.
Anywhere.
Sometime.
Yeah.
If not all the time.
That's right.
Amen, somebody.
Because when you said I do, you took a covenant that was between you, your husband, and God.
That's right.
So you invited God in the beginning. All we're saying today is keep him there. Do not try to build your house without him. It won't stand up. It's simple. It won't stand. It will crumble.
Listen, let me say this to you. In order to have good communication in your house, you got to have a connection with God, and you have a prayer life, because that's the only way your spouse can hear you, listen to you. Don't let your spouse just hear what you say go in one ear and come out the other.
Because you could have communication. It just may not be the right communication.
That's right. Well, I think it's time for us to sign off again. We definitely had a good time and enjoyed being with you today. And when we come back, I know we're going to have to pick this back up. We're going to just go a little deeper with prayer, how we need to pray with our spouse, over our spouse, and what's the other? For our spouse. So, if you have any pressing questions that you would like for us to address, or even some particular topics that you'd like for us to talk about, inbox us at Women of Wisdom Tallahassee inbox on Facebook, and we will definitely pay attention to your needs.
Thank you for joining us again. We love having you.
I can't believe it. The rope is not here today. But honey, these people need to know.
Keep it tight.
Keep it tight.
When